very impressive conference. We had a lot of participants from all parts of the world, great speakers, but we were very pleased and very motivated also by the participation of young professionals. We were very happy that TNO came with 20 young professionals, among them you, and also we have selected 4 Aruban students who are doing great in different areas of sustainable energy, and we also chose 2 students studying in Aruba that have a vision and have a clear idea on how we can help Aruba along in developing towards a sustainable society. And it was very impressive to see also the reaction of the participants, everyone that was there during the first day that you had your presentation, and afterwards I received a lot of reaction, which gave us the idea that it would be good to have your ideas and your participation also form part of a lasting dialogue in our community, for which this roundtable discussion could serve as a great vehicle. So thank you for coming to Aruba. We appreciate that, and naturally it gives us a lot of pride to see Aruban faces also in the group, students as well as young professionals. So we are very happy with that. And I would like to start asking you, how did you experience the 3 days of the conference and your visit to Aruba? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, we have found an island that is very committed for the future, that understands that it cannot hold on importation of oil, that wants to only depend on itself for its future, on oil dependence, on the technology that it develops, on the exports. So, and on this way, achieving a more sustainable economy, and with a collateral positive effect on the CO2 emissions, on the environment. And so it is an island that is really focused on the future, on the generations that are to come, and also that wants to invest on the future, not only leaving its the economic development for the day of tomorrow, but for the years to come. So that is a positive issue that we found on this part of the world.
Do you think it has value for other countries, what we do here in Aruba?
What you do in Aruba and the strategy that you have developed for Aruba may be important for this region. If Aruba is able to position itself as a front leader on the development on R&D, it can export knowledge, it can sell and show to other countries of the region that it's on the forefront of the environmental concerns, that it will no longer depend on the geopolitical players. So it's a strategy that we see with very good eyes. So it's
besides the part that we could eventually export our knowledge and experience if we have a success formula going into Aruba sustainable strategy. Do you believe that, and that's what I feel a little bit from Carbon War Room, and also from Mr. Richard Branson, that what they believe is that important countries in the world are not taking the decision towards sustainability, and that maybe if you get some success formulas in an island country like Aruba, it could also serve as a stimulus to larger country cities.
It's actually very interesting that small island took such a big step. It's a very brave commitment that you took, and it takes, as a government, I think, also a lot of courage to really stimulate this and to really enforce and not only say we want to go towards sustainability, we want to develop it, actually also do something about it. Because you see a lot, it's a lot of talk in big countries. There are a lot of players involved, a lot of other commitments towards political events in the neighboring countries, and there are too many players involved maybe. And Aruba makes that the ideal location to actually do it. It's small. It doesn't depend on, well, it depends on a lot of countries for different things, but in the island itself, they have the decision power. So it's nice that we came here and we saw a lot of commitment, because it's always when you hear things in the news, okay, maybe it's not really the case, but we came here and we saw a lot of very committed people, and even in the lectures that we organized together with the University of Aruba, we saw a lot of important people there from the hotel business, from members of parliament, and really actively engaged in discussion and really brainstorm sessions, which is really nice to see. So it's like, okay, they're really actually also doing something about it. It's not just a vision and a political statement, so to speak. So that was good to see.
That is very important, and I expressed that also during several of the moments that we shared with the people visiting Aruba, that we realize now that we have not only made a commitment towards the people of Aruba, which will measure us on our work, but now we have also made a commitment towards the international world. Once you have TNO standing next to you and also telling the world we will be standing with Aruba doing this, and you have a Cargo War Room making similar statements, the responsibility to deliver becomes even stronger. So we're happy to have young professionals to help us deliver also. So thank you for your contribution. How was your experience?
I can only agree to what my colleagues are saying. It's been very inspiring. I mean, we read a lot about sustainability, mainly in the energy field, but it's also taken up other fields. But you sometimes don't see that it's actually happening, and you're asking yourself, why is that? Is it finances? Is it commitment? So yeah, seeing Aruba actually taking this step is first of all very inspiring. Second of all, seeing that so many people are internationally taking part of it, wanting to help, that makes you feel we can really do this. Yeah. So it's been a great experience altogether.
Thank you, and thank you for the contribution. What was your theme when you presented through the first day?
Yeah, I presented the lecture on energy and the main idea to keep things simple, because I think the field is so complex you have to try and keep things simple. The main idea behind it is three things: reducing energy, increasing renewable energy shares, and matching energies, because the more renewable energy sources we use, the more important it will become to match supply and demand. Now there are various ideas for this last part, and I think the smart community will give excellent opportunities to actually test this, because yeah, there is no silver bullet solution. I think we heard this how many times this week. We need to test it. We need to see how it goes. Take those lectures, which will be very interesting, not only for the countries around you, but also internationally. I mean, if we think of the Netherlands, Germany, the EU has committed to 20% renewable energy shares for 2020. Germany is trying, well, they're doing their best. They want to reach 35. Holland said 14%, but actually they're lacking behind. Aruba could do 60% with already 30% with already a second wind park. Right. So, well, that's
the small scale helps us.
Yeah,
also helps us. You.
Well, I liked it very much that the people of restaurants and hotels were also present at the workshops. And I found out that they really want to buy their food from the local producers, but they have the problem that their demand is too much. There's not enough produce on the island.
Yes, about the Green Conference, I was very happy to be there. As an Arubian, I was very glad to see what Aruba is doing, and not only Aruba, but not only Aruba, but the community, and they are working together and to achieve something, and they wanna, I think, let the rest of the world know that we are a small island, but we can achieve everything if we want to, and we will be an example for the rest of the world. So I was very happy to be there.
As an Aruban.
As an Aruban, yes.
How do you feel that that we have now embarked on a mission that has an appeal for young professionals like you?
That's also what we are talking about the whole week with my colleagues, because I told most of them that I'm still in Holland because it's a little bit difficult to get a certain job for young professional, and now I'm really thinking about it to come here pretty soon, because I know that there is a lot of work to do on Aruba. So maybe this is the time for me as an Aruba to come back and serve my island. So I will be very glad to do that.
Looking at the plans and the developments and the vision, where would you see a role for a young professional like you in that picture?
I think what I saw the last couple of days was that we need to keep it simple. We need to keep it simple, and why keep it simple? Like my colleague said, there is a lot of things we have to do, a lot of projects, very complex, and the community they just want to see we start at point A and what it brings for us as Arubian. So if we come with a lot of difficult terms and difficult system, it's nice for us as technician and professional, but for them it don't have an added value. So for now, so I think for us we have the knowledge and try to go a step back to simplify it and then bring it out and make sure that we can get the whole community together so we can reach our targets. I think that's the most important thing at this moment.
I think many people ask themselves the question, they could see if we would be able to execute this vision, that at a certain moment we could reach 70, 80, finally 100% of sustainable energy as the source of energy for Aruba. But many people might not still see where that creates job opportunity, economic development opportunities for them in that process. Where do you see that? I spoke to many people that see we have two young persons, entrepreneurs from the Netherlands. I don't know if you met them, Wernet brothers, that came back to Aruba. They have been in the Netherlands, and now they're going to sell solar panels, especially for cars to park under it. And stuff like that. I feel personally, when I speak to the business people in Aruba, that connection is not made yet.
No.
So they see the whole vision of total sustainability as something that will happen like next to them, while actually it should happen with them. And
yeah, that's also one thing that I hear the first day we are at the University of Aruba. There are a lot of people doing the same thing. All of them will achieve the same thing, but they are not working together. So it's like inventing the wheel all over again. Instead of say, okay, let's go put a kind of, even it's a network that everybody can put their ideas or looking for people that are working on the same project, so they can come together and make just a big project out of that and exchange ideas instead of working on their own and just keep going their way and nobody else. And I also could feel that they need it. Some people need it, the joint of the groups together instead of working alone. And what I also experience, but I don't know if it's true. But everybody that has an idea, they want to be their own boss, and they want to stay there instead of say, okay, this guy has a good idea. Let's meet him, let's talk about it, and maybe we can work together and get a greater idea out of it. So I think that will be the best part to start with. Just join together and we get stronger.
How does business in the Netherlands play into the opportunities of going to a sustainable economy?
When you want to make money with a strategy that is focused on the environment and on the future, you should not have a sole approach focusing on the CO2 emissions, all the added value that you create actually on that side, but also explain to the people that they can make money on it. That's by achieving a noble objective that is all of the society, improving the environment of all of us, that you can serve the people and that you can make money. So if you achieve all of them, and if you can show that that is a route for an economy that is focused on the green side of it, then you assure for yourself the future. So in the Netherlands we see lots of examples: electric vehicles, energy.
So the private sector responds on this demand for a sustainable development.
Exactly, because for example in Germany 12% of the GDP is already dependent on the green part of the industry export.
Do you think that Aruban companies interested in making a challenge, a opportunity, could find partners in Europe to share their experience and come establish a franchise here, or I mean, Germany is very good in solar panels on the roofs.
Yeah.
The Netherlands has a lot of experience on different technical applications of alternative energy. We live in a small world. Is there possibility of merging?
Obviously. And I think that that's the opportunity, and that is the challenge. So there are for sure partners in the Netherlands, in Europe, they want to come here and want to share the knowledge, so that then you can have the knowledge to make an export for the whole region and for the whole world. The particularities you have here on the environment, on being on a region that is not yet that focused on the environment also, it can be an opportunity. If you are the player that is on the forefront at the moment, you can export for a whole region that isn't yet thinking about it. That's an opportunity.
It is also an opportunity. There were we saw, like Greg said, we saw some local business entrepreneurs, like small scale, but they are like trying to get the green thing going. And sometimes I had the feeling that the big players, and also on Aruba, kind of were maybe not necessarily taking them seriously. So if you create a platform for sustainability, and actually the government also not only looks at the big parties involved, but also at the small initiatives being taken by local Aruban people or small entrepreneurs.
Like the two Wernet brothers we just mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. Are already, because there are already initiatives here. Yeah. So I think it's also very good to focus, especially as the government, at those initiatives, so that people get enthusiastic, so that they see the small Aruban entrepreneur trying to make biodiesel, or already having his solar import business going on. Oh right, wow, he gets funded, and he can actually work together with the big players to develop this more. So then you have a nice interaction between, and for the big projects you can always, I think there are always opportunities abroad, because it's a nice showcase for the big players.
Yes, well actually I could add to that, because it's very interesting. I think this is also a thing I've seen in the conference. It's about bringing people together and changing ideas. So it has been said by all my colleagues, it's about community, collaboration, and making Aruba sustainable is not only about technology, it's about the people. And it's very important to involve obviously government, big businesses, but also small businesses. Many studies have shown that it's the small businesses that create the most sustainable jobs. So making Aruba sustainable is not just about energy, it's also about having an Aruba that can afford its energy 20 years from now. Also sustainable energy. So it's also about creating jobs, creating sustainable jobs. And therefore the focus on small entrepreneurs is very interesting. And next to that, obviously, you have to involve the community itself. It's about changing behavior of the people. The people have to support this. And that's very interesting that a conference like the one we've been is a very nice first step to do this, because hopefully people will talk about this.
For us, it's very important. We just before we had this formal initiation of this program, we spoke outside about how important it is that also your contribution, because it gives the confidence that is required for people really to believe that something that they cannot touch yet, it's somewhere a little bit in the future, that it is achievable, because we know what we know, what we deal with daily, and something that's a little bit further always creates some uncertainty. So it's important when they see enough people believing in it, so probably it is achievable.
Yeah.
We have two Arubans also, besides Greg, also on the table, that have presented some concepts which we are naturally very excited about, and that we have Arubans that on the international platform are performing. We saw Mr. Franca's Vlieger presentation, the kites, and the possibility of having energy out of wind at a higher level than the windmills, and naturally the study that Javier is going to do together with TNO. I'm personally very happy that we already have examples of that bringing TNO to Aruba had two purposes. We brought TNO to Aruba because we want to go to a total sustainable society, and especially the technical part TNO can support us in. But we also wanted to create a research institute that can provide jobs for our local professionals that are studying abroad, like you, Javier, and that will get the opportunity to come to Aruba. And once we make the pitch internationally that, look, what we have done in Aruba, we can do it in South America, Central America, we will have the people also to go and do it. And I call it the right stuff. You might not know it, but your names are mentioned very often in Aruba, because I very often also get people with a cynical approach and say, well, this is a little bit far-fetched, how can we do this? And then I have to also present examples of what we're already doing. I mean, Edward Chung in NASA, I mean, it's very impressive. And he could not be doing this in Aruba because we did not create the avenues for someone like that. And we don't want to repeat that mistake. So we are working on creating new technology in Aruba, so we can have our young professors come back. So Javier, maybe you can tell us how you experienced
the Green Conference. I experienced it also like
the last time you came to play, you came with the car. And you came a little more serious.
But now I'm more serious. But if I may compare it to a Green Conference, I see that there's more energy in it. The people are more convinced, and we can do it. I believe that we can do it. And the first conference, the people were a little bit like, okay, yeah, it's good, it's great. But now people really believe it. And as they said, it is possible. Technically, it is possible. But now this challenge that we need to convince the people that we can do it, and hopefully we Arubians can show them it's not rocket science, let's say it that way. That is feasible. That some that also an Aruban can do it, can learn it. So then they maybe hopefully they're more like, okay, if he can do it, then we also can do it.
And you are going to do your thesis together with Tino.
Yes.
And what you are going to study in your thesis is one of the serious questions we have, especially the water electricity plant is very concerned about that. Every time we come up with a new source of energy outside of the web, they're very concerned if they can maintain the stability of the grid. So if you already have Father Piet that has a total capacity of 30 megawatts and they run at the average of 16, but sometimes they peak at above 36% of the total capacity. We saw that in the numbers, and that creates a real challenge for the web. And they are concerned that if we add another windmill farm and then we put solar park and then we have all these individual houses also going to put solar panels, that the stability on the grid is going to be a real challenge. How do you see that, and how do you believe that your study is going to contribute to give us some comfort that we can handle that?
Well, I hope that my studies will bring a lot of comfort, and I hope that, or what I think is that it is one of the first steps that really needs to be done to let's say to a green Aruba. This and how do you say? I hope that the model will show the people that it is possible, that they have something to show, and that I have something to show them. Okay, you don't believe in it, but look at the model. It says it's possible, and the model will show how to react on the problems
and the peaks and
the
lower points.
Because now I think now we the people they generally say no, it's not possible because they don't know it, and I hope that I can show them, or even show them what the real problem is, and then we can
when you study also go into solutions. For instance, I hear that we have peaks in the evening with the windmills, so we have excess electricity, and we even have situations that we don't use that electricity because we have excess. And there are different ideas. One idea is that in the evening, with the excess of wind energy, you could produce ice, and in the daytime that ice can be used for cooling of hotels, restaurants, etc. There's also the idea that once we have more electrical cars, when you have excessive energy in the evening, that would be something that you could offer special prices for the cars to be charged.
There are many ideas. You can charge the batteries, maybe even make hydrogen, because you can make hydrogen from electricity, and then we can also have some hydrogen cars, and maybe also maybe some crazy ideas that you create a park that only works when there's excess of energy, that people can play